Geez, it's been a while, guys, for me. I think like a month now, because I missed the last one.
Well, you were here. You were the paper shredder.
I've heard that if you don't use it, you lose it. So am I just going to be a complete disaster on this podcast now?
We'll see, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the paper shredder's still right here, so if all else fails, I'll plug it back in.
We can always just plug him in the middle.
Yeah. Insert a few buzzes.
I was kind of hoping you guys would actually shred some paper mid-show, but that did not happen.
Yeah, it was never actually plugged in, because we're like just sitting in the office, and it's just sitting there. So
we never plugged it in because we actually didn't want to truly replace you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how to start the show anymore. Hello and welcome. You're listening to episode 19 of the recurring Bosscast. Split Kicks fortnightly vibe.
It's been a while.
I really don't know how to do this, do you?
Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the recurring Bosscast, Split Kicks Fortnightly podcast. I'm Jet from SplitKick.com. With me is Matt from Biff Bam Pop and the Screaming Ego.
What's going on, guys?
And Jason from Inside Gaming Daily and Slick Gaming.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you. I totally alluded to just before we started the show, I was totally going to screw this up. And I'm going to leave all that in the show. So, I mean, what did I miss?
Man, you missed so much.
Yeah.
We have our new paper shredder friend.
Yeah, the Jet paper shredder,
Mm-hmm.
who comes in a nice sheen jet black color.
Yep.
And he buzzes.
Okay.
And he sits there and looks sexy.
It's got me beat. I can buzz, but I definitely don't look sexy, regardless of what position I am in.
But yeah, E3 happened.
E3 it did. We'll probably talk a little bit about it, although something came up that we probably should focus on later on in the show.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But first, Jason, what's going on with you?
Well, since I moved to California, I've always been looking for a job, and I actually just signed paperwork for a job yesterday. So that is pretty cool. I will be working at the wonderful location of Target.
Wow.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I got a job working in human resources, so I'll be a behind-the-scenes guy, and that's pretty fun. I really enjoyed the human resources aspect of other jobs I had, and this is a great entry to moving forward that way, so I'm pretty happy about it. So we'll be starting there probably by the next podcast I'll have started.
That's awesome, man.
I'm pretty excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So you would say you're right on target.
Yeah, yes I am.
Yeah,
This is going to be one of those days, isn't it?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
We're aiming for it anyway.
So
2 in a row. Aiming for it, target,
Got it,
aiming.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Exactly.
So Targets are just starting to open up here in Canada. Matt, have you spent any time in a Target yet?
I have not, but Liza has.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
What'd she think?
I don't think she was overly impressed by it. I mean, there weren't that many. The prices weren't as different as they'd hoped. Fairly similar. So she wasn't getting like the huge savings that she thought would come with Target.
Mm-hmm.
But she still likes shopping, so that's not going to deter her any.
Of course.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I wouldn't say that Target, at least here in America, is big for a lot of like savings. I think that's more sort of Walmart. But I think when people look at Target, some of the colloquial thoughts might be that it's a higher end Walmart.
Yeah.
And, attracts a different sort of clientele. But I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I can dig that. So
Some would call it Target.
Target, yeah, that's the creme de la creme of society. So
yeah, thank you guys for covering the show while I was jet setting in.
Yeah, pun intended.
Can you just put like a pun counter in somewhere?
3 for those keeping score.
Nice.
So yeah, I was pulled into a last minute meeting that was taking place in Havana. So I was there for about a day and a half. It was a very cool experience being in that city that was just very rich in history and culture. And I love looking at all of the architecture in there and hearing all of the stories from my coworkers on all of the cool things that happened in this particular area.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I also had to do some work. I think that was actually
No.
the brunt of my experience there, but I would definitely love to come back, or go back and enjoy more of what Havana has to offer.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
it's an awesome city.
Mm-hmm. Matt, have you been?
I have, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
I've been to Cuba twice, actually.
So I from the work I've been doing, I get the sense that most of the Canadians don't really go to Havana. They usually go to other parts of Cuba for the beach. So what kind of compelled you to go to Havana specifically?
Cigars.
Okay.
To the point.
Yeah, and we had family up there as well, and they all wanted to go, so kind of
Awesome.
an excursion.
And were the cigars worth it?
Yeah, definitely. The funny thing about Havana is that in the streets, I don't know if other people had different experiences, but when we were there, we were taking pictures of the scenery and of the architecture and whatnot. And at one point, we took a picture of a building, and one of the guys that was just a Cuban guy got in the way of the picture, and then he literally asked us for money to be in the picture, or we had to delete it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, he literally he's a professional photo bomber. That's what he is.
Yeah, really.
So we just showed
I
him
assume you deleted.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's like I don't need a picture that bad.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's an interesting city. Interesting city. You can definitely see the difference between the sort of upper class and then the lower class there.
Definitely.
But it's a nice city, really nice. The architecture, like you said, Jet, it's amazing.
My favorite, most humorous part of the trip, I wouldn't say my favorite, most humorous part of the trip, we were in front of the Capitolo, and right across the street, there's a movie theater. Guess what the headline movie was at the theater?
I don't know. What?
Magic Mike.
Come on.
Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing. So let's go talk about some games and stuff. Matt, what are you playing?
So I have been playing. Oh God, I hate even to admit it. I started. My brother. Okay, I have to get into this for a second.
Set it up.
I know. I used to be a huge World of Warcraft fan, and then I stopped playing it because I literally had zero time for it. It was just taking my entire life. It was during a period of time where I had a job that was pretty lax, so I had a lot of free time that I could just do whatever I wanted with. 95% of that time was spent playing Warcraft.
Oh my god.
And it was pretty bad. I was pretty addicted. So I ended up basically max leveling, I think 1 or 2 characters, and then I quit. Once I was done, I quit. I was raiding and all that kind of stuff, and then I stopped. And I stopped for probably a good 4 years. And then my brother started playing again because he is currently fun employed, and that's what I call it anyway. He's doing some like web stuff and whatnot on the side, but currently no full-time job. So he's been playing Warcraft a lot, and he goes, "Hey man, they've got this new thing called Scroll of Resurrection. If you accept it and do 7 days, he gets like a free mount or something, a rare mount or something." So I said, "Sure, why not?" I said, "I'll go try it." So that 7 days turned into a full-blown subscription, and now I'm almost a level 90.
They
Oh
got
my
you.
goodness.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting, like, honestly, I come home and like I have zero time, and it's like, well, I'll just go on for a tiny bit, and then I end up going on for like a couple hours. It's bad.
I can do this quest. I can turn that in.
But I'm almost at 90, and I've told myself that as soon as I hit 90, I'm stopping again. Because then I'm maxed out again, I beat all the stuff, and I'm good to go. And I'll give myself a little bit of a break. Although I do have vacation coming up, which could be bad news as well.
Now, are you playing your same characters that you left there 4 years ago?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We had a ton of friends that played it all at the same time as well. So I have a bunch of characters on a bunch of different servers and a bunch of different realms.
Right.
But I have one guy that's like my go-to guy for any sort of expansion leveling or whatever. So that's the guy I go to now. So he's almost at 90. Once he's at 90, I'm going to take a bit of a break.
What are you playing?
I'm playing a Shadow Priest, and what class is he? The big, giant, hulking guy. Draenei Shadow Priest.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ugh. Alliance, boo.
Yeah, I know. I used to be Horde, and then a bunch of my buddies went into Alliance, and then I decided to just switch factions and go to Alliance to be with them.
You defected.
I know, but realistically,
Can't believe you.
I know. I was ashamed of myself when I first did it, but I got over it.
That's okay.
Yeah, so a lot of Warcraft, and then commuting. I've been playing a game called Orlux. Have you guys ever heard it?
No.
No.
So it's basically a real-time strategy game, except it's all based around little sort of nucleuses, like little suns. And your sons sort of generate these little, I don't even know what to call them. It's a really strange game when you look at it. They generate little dots, and they, depending on the size of your sun and how much you've upgraded, it generates either 1, 2, or 3 dots at a time. Then you can use those dots to go fight other suns and take over their suns, and the goal being to take over the entire map.
Interesting.
But they're also, the AI is also generating little dots as well, and they can go and attack you, and then it becomes a game of, do I attack this guy now, or do I wait for him to attack me and then attack his empty sun so I can take it faster? And it actually turned into a pretty fun game. I found out from my 15-year-old cousin. He was playing it one day, and I said, "Oh, what's that?" And he told me, and then I've been kind of hooked on that now. So I've got that on my iPhone.
Interesting.
All right. Is it a turn-based game or real-time?
Nope, it's real-time.
Okay.
Real-time, and everything is happening all at once, and you can literally be up, have 7 out of 10 planets won, and then in about 10 or 15 seconds, you've lost the game. So it's a little unnerving, but it's pretty fun to play. Definitely a time waster, that's for sure.
Cool. Anything else?
I've also been playing this game called Bridgie Jones, but I haven't really got too far into it. It's a bridge building game, basically, and your goal is to get a train across by putting support structures underneath a bridge. And then there's side objectives like jump a train far or do other weird things with it, try not to knock things off the train. Haven't really got too far into it, but it's more of a physics-based kind of, bridge builder. So it's kind of fun. But as I said, I haven't really got into it, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Jason, you?
Yeah, I've been kind of all over the place for inside gaming things. So I was really happy when I was able to somewhat retro review the new 3DS ones for Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons, and Oracle of Ages.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to download those and work on those, and man, those games were so fun. It's hard to believe they're 12 years old now. They still, they don't look great because they're Game Boy games, but they still play really well, and it's pretty fun. Did you guys play them at all, any of those, or no?
I've not, but I hear they are some of the best in the series.
Yeah, they really are, and I think it's because the mechanics are so tight that everything just works perfectly. And even though the game looks minimal because it's on the Game Boy Color, it still plays to every aspect of that so well that it looks really good. And it was just a blast to play through them again, because I never actually beat them until now because my cousin had them, so I was never able to play through them. And they have the link feature, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I thought it was interesting writing the review. I didn't feel comfortable giving it a score because it's so old. So I had to make a disclaimer, I didn't feel comfortable doing this. And I don't know, it's pretty fun. So a neat retro review that was neat to work on. And then keeping the retro going, I also got to work on the Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mystara game, downloadable one.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a retro, an older game that's being brought back, right?
Yeah, it's Capcom, and it's actually 2 of their D&D arcade games re-released, I want to say, for the first time together in America. And they did the whole Third Strike Online and Darkstalkers Resurrection thing, where there's versus points you can get by doing certain things in the game, like killing so many enemies and fighting people with fire X number of times. And then that's how you unlock things like concept art and stuff like that. And I really like that idea. That's pretty cool. It makes you want to keep playing over and over again. But the 2 games are from 1993 and 1996, and they hold up pretty well. They still look good. They're older style games, but they're really fun.
Yeah.
And it is 4-player side-scrolling beat-em-up set in the D&D world. So it's pretty neat concept.
Nice. Reminiscent
Definitely
of
worth
Turtles in Time.
Yes, exactly. But the funny thing is, they really pack in a lot of Dungeons and Dragons mythos and stuff. It's a lot of the things you get are, spells are, magic missile and lightning bolts, all these regular ones, but lots of interesting things that you would only see from the actual pen and paper game. So, for instance, clerics in the actual D&D tabletop game can't use bladed weapons like knives and swords, and they can't in this game either. And so it's kind of neat how they incorporate it. And if you're a fan of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons or D&D 3rd Edition, even, you'll pick up on it, and it's pretty fun. So, and besides that, it's actually a pretty cool game. So definitely worth it. I suggest picking it up if you like. If you like Castle Crashers, it's in that same vein, or TMNT, something like that.
Yeah, so I've been reading a little bit about the game since it got announced, and a lot of people seem to have a lot of love for this game, but I don't remember this at all from my childhood. I don't remember seeing that machine or hearing about that game anywhere. Matt?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because I didn't either. And I didn't want to be the only one.
There's two of them. The first one is the D&D, it's Tower of Doom, and the second one is Shadows over Mystara, or Mystara, however you say it. I only remember seeing one of them, and even then, I don't remember playing it that much. So I definitely don't remember it. But I know of it, and I love that style of gameplay, so that's why I'm happy about it. And it's worth it. Like, it really is worth it. For $15, you get 2 quality games that you'll play for hours. And it is 4 players, you can play online, drop in, drop out, so it's pretty neat.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. Up until recently, I'd never even heard of the games, and it somehow slipped through my childhood, so I probably should. Yeah,
there's going to be a Wii U version.
Ooh.
I know. You can play on the Wii U. Anyways, beyond that, through... know how to put this. I've not actually played this one, but Laura's been playing it so much, I feel like I've been playing Animal Crossing New Leaf for the 3DS. So, it's pretty cool. I'm supposed to be getting it soonish, and yeah, I'm already thinking of like what to name my town and all these vegetables and fruits I'm going to pick from trees, and it sounds kind of fun. I'm getting excited. And she's like playing it as I'm working or I'm playing a game, and I'm humming the songs to the songs in my head, and it's weird. So she's playing it right now, actually. So
a lot of people I know are playing Animal Crossing on the 3DS. I love the GameCube game. That game almost destroyed my life. And by the time the DS version came out, played a little bit of that and said, "Oh man, this is the same Animal Crossing over again." And then the Wii one came out, and it's the same Animal Crossing again. I keep hearing that this is the same Animal Crossing again, but everyone is playing it and loving it. Why?
Yeah. I think it's definitely the same idea, but I feel like it's kind of like maybe Pokemon's not the best, but a series that comes out over and over, and they just sort of refine small things to make it better. They've definitely done that, and Animal Crossing works the best on a mobile platform, so it's good to be on the 3DS as opposed to the Wii, and it's just fun. I mean, the way that it's neat to be a part of this big community where you can share things online and play together, go to other people's homes, and all these things. I think that's what's people are really enjoying. That you can play it whenever, you can enjoy it for however long you want, and you can come back whenever you want and still have fun. Yeah. I think it's really unique in that sense.
But you can do all that in the DS game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you totally can. But I think you're playing and enjoying the new release, window of this one, and that's getting people kind of worked up about it. I mean, I would say it's probably the best one so far, just because it's the newest and they've done more with it. So take that as you will.
All right. I mean, if it's great, I would, and it's fresh enough that I would enjoy it. Like, sure, I'll try it again. But I just feel like I've been burned by that franchise multiple times at this point, and I am reluctant to go back in unless it really is something fresh.
I mean, having only seen it for many hours and not played it physically, like I'm willing to say it's pretty much the same thing, and nothing there is going to allure you back. But it is probably the most refined one and the best one that you could play if you did play.
Okay. So. Fair enough.
Anyways, that's what I've got going on.
Okay. Other things I have been playing. I played a bit of Tekken Revolution, the first major free-to-play fighting game.
I totally forgot to download that.
Yeah, it's free. Play it. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you start out with a handful of characters. Right now there's no training mode. They're adding that back in. You can play a little bit of arcade mode, and there's some online modes as well. Can't play local multiplayer if that's a thing for you. So, I mean, what sets it apart is the whole coin system. So you get a certain number of coins per day. Not even per day. It's a certain number of coins, and as you spend them, you will regenerate some over time. So you can play arcade mode. I think you get a maximum of 2 coins for arcade mode, and then you have to wait like an hour for them to recharge. Or you can play online, and you get 5 coins, and if you win your match, you will get a ticket, which also kind of acts like a coin. So if you keep winning, you can keep playing. But if you lose 5 matches in a row, or you lose 5 matches before you get any more coins, then you'll have to wait till they regenerate.
Right. And what's the point of that?
It's a Tekken game you can play for free. Or you can buy the coin thing?
Yeah, like why are they limiting you? I guess I don't know.
You can buy more coins. And then you can play whenever you want.
I mean, I'm definitely not like belittling you, but if I was going to pay, I would just buy like Tekken 6.
Yeah, get Tekken 6 for cheap, or get Tekken Tag also for cheap.
Yeah, or Tag, yeah. I mean, that's still cool, though. I mean, free game, free game.
Yes, it's one-on-one Tekken. You can also level up your characters, but I have no idea how broken that gets by the time you've completely maxed someone out. I would guess pretty broken.
Yeah, really.
And there probably won't be any sort of real competitive scene around this game because of all the different variables involved. So if you're looking for a free 3D fighting game to mess around with every now and then, sure, play it. Why not?
Yeah. What are characters? There's not too many, is there?
I can't remember how many you start with, but I think at this point in time there's 12 total that you can unlock.
Yeah, that's not bad. Did they cost like tickets or something to get?
No, you have to do stuff in the game to unlock them.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Can I play as Eddie or Christy?
I don't know. I have a feeling you have to unlock them.
No.
Yeah, it says there's 8 characters playable from the start. Brian Fury, Elisa Boscanovic, Leo Cleason, and Steve Fox are downloadable. The rest you can play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all right. It's a nice assortment, I guess.
There's Kazuya and Jin, too, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I play as Kazuya.
Kazuya's cool.
Yeah, I only know one move. It's the, what's that move called? I use it in Street Fighter Cross Tekken all the time.
Is that where he spins on the ground and kicks you and rises up?
Not that one. It's the slaughter hook. That's it. Where he punches you in the gut and then does the overhead punch.
Yeah, the overhead, yeah.
Yes.
That's classic.
I've been playing a lot more Luigi's Mansion. It has been a very slow burn for me because if you imagine yourself as a character in an RPG and break down your video game skills as, I don't know, different bars and you have XP and different things, I have very few points in spatial puzzles. So when I play God of War, the moment I get to a puzzle, I have to go to a guide immediately because I am too stupid to solve it.
Okay.
And Luigi's Mansion is all about spatial puzzles.
Yeah, I was like, I can see how that would get to you.
And there's no hand-holding, and oftentimes it's look for that one little string or that one minor detail that you have to tug on in order for it to do something, and it took me a really long time to get a grasp for what that is, and oftentimes I still get stuck just looking for that one thing that will get me to the next part. And I mean, it's not necessarily a fault of the game, it's just more my inadequacies as a gamer. But I'm enjoying it. It's really neat, and the concepts in there are really cool.
Yeah, I was actually a bit more critical than you. I said it was kind of a fault of the game because I had the exact same thing happen where you just don't know. And yeah, there needs to be a better way of telling you, because there was actually one level I thought I had somehow glitched the game out because I had no idea what was happening. So I started over and realized I got to the same place and still had no idea what was happening. So yeah, it was, I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't happen. The game should be a bit more intuitive, and when it is just, oh, it was behind this random object that you would never have otherwise thought to move.
Yeah.
That's not the greatest way to do it.
You don't want it to hold your hand, but you also don't want to be completely lost either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I kind of wish it had sort of a system like Uncharted, where if you're wandering around for too long, it kind of points you in a direction.
Yeah.
Because that's
oh, go on. Sorry.
That's what happened to me. I brought Luigi's Mansion with me to play on the plane in Cuba, and I played it for 10 minutes and got stuck. And I was on the plane, had no internet, and it's just like, well, I guess I'm done here. Didn't play until I came back to Canada.
Oh, no. Yeah. And I don't understand. They easily could have made it where the professor would call you and say, like, hey, check out that painting. And it would have made it so much easier, but they didn't do it.
No.
Missed opportunity.
So, I mean, at the pace I'm going at, I just finished... I just finished the second tower, or the second mansion thingy. So I'm only like 40% of the way through the game.
You got like 2 Dark Moon pieces or whatever?
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
Still a ways
The ending's pretty cool. Like, you should play through. You'll enjoy it.
Oh, I plan on playing it through the end, so I'm enjoying it other than getting stuck. So, I mean, the strategy on the train, because I play it on the train either going into work or coming home, is before I get on the subway, I load up the guide on the level I'm playing at just before I get on. So
Good idea.
Just in case. Stuck, I can pull it up. And I usually can beat one level per trip, so that's kind of how I map it out.
Cool. It works.
And the last game I have been playing is The Last of Us.
Oh my god. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Okay. Can I tell you how I feel about it?
No.
Yeah. My brother beat it too, and he told me, so I'll compare it with yours.
Okay. I think it does what it does really well, but it's
Here
not
comes.
grabbing me like I hoped it would.
Really?
Yeah.
Gameplay-wise, story-wise, what?
Mostly gameplay-wise.
Okay.
I think the game starts off with a bang. The story is a little predictable at the beginning, but the way that sequence plays out is really incredible. And then it gets to a point where it takes you to this certain scenario, and all of a sudden you're surrounded by chest-high walls and dudes walking around in patterns, and they say, sneak around them, and then all of a sudden it's a video game again.
Yeah.
And it's mostly a stealth action game, and I generally hate stealth action games. I think the stealth action is handled pretty well. It's pretty forgiving in a lot of times, though, I mean, the trade-off is the AI is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the thing that really took me out of it, where it's a lot of that, where it just feels so gamey, and the stuff around it is so much more than that, but there's just kind of a disconnect there for me of the story bits and the stealthy bits.
How would you say it compares to the Uncharted games?
From a engine level, yeah, it's the same. It's kind of the same framework, but it's a completely different execution on that idea.
Okay, cool.
Other than
I was curious.
The melee fighting is more or less the same, other than you can hit people with a brick.
Cool.
Right.
The shooting is very similar, but I mean, it's a lot more emphasis on stealth, and there aren't as many big kind of set pieces. It's just more about trying to stay alive in this particular room with a bunch of dudes trying to kill you.
But you're happy to have this over Dead Island Riptide,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, good. Okay,
and
good.
I totally recognize the fact that this is a really good game, and when I play it, I enjoy it. I think it just kind of has fallen a bit short of my expectations.
Fair enough.
I'm about halfway through. I'm going to play it through the end. It's a really long game.
That's good. Is there a multiplayer for this one?
Yes.
Okay, there is.
I have not played any of the multiplayer. I know that the Split Kick guys want to do a game night at some point. I mean, other than that, I have no interest in playing that game multiplayer. I've heard it's okay, though.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like Uncharted, I mean, even that was fun. Just running around and shooting stuff.
I think I'm in the minority on The Last of Us, though, and that's okay. I was the minority on other things like Journey, so
Fair enough.
sometimes you just got to go with your gut, and if you truly believe in it, you got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Just like Microsoft and their whole DRO way.
Yeah.
So,
Good segue.
About that, Bosscast topic of the week, more like Xbox 180.
Oh.
Ooh, for those counting, that's 4. Yeah, crazy.
I mean, by the time people listen to this, the news will be a couple of days old, but this is relatively breaking at the time of recording. So after all of the hoopla and the back and forth about DRM and Sony not including it and Microsoft defending it to the death, they have decided to change their stance and remove all of it. Which kind of shocks everyone and is possibly the biggest backtrack in the history of all of video games.
Or the biggest conspiracy they had planned the entire time.
I think so, eh?
Waiting on it.
All right, I would like to hear your conspiracy theory, Jason.
No, I don't think so. I remember there was someone on Twitter that was like, oh, it's totally a conspiracy. They're doing it. And then I was just reading the random comments that he was getting, and I'm like, that is the dumbest thing. Like, because I'm honestly thinking, how will the Xbox One function? Because it seemed like everything was, I mean, I wouldn't say relying on DRM, but so many things on that internet connection. Like, those features just aren't going to work. And those were if I was going to buy the Xbox One, that's what I would want it for. And now those aren't there. Like, the online streaming of your games and The cloud content, like I don't know how that's going to work, if it's going to be the same at all. Those are the things that were neat, and now they're gone. So I don't know.
So that's a great place to start at. Microsoft did not do a very good job at selling the positive points that their new system was going to offer, but there were the whole streaming games from your account so that you could go to anyone's system. As long as you log in, you can then access your games. And the game sharing feature, where we could share games with each other even though we live in different parts. And I think the system was that as long as we're not playing the games at the same time, we could still play.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are very progressive and interesting features that I don't think anyone had any issues with. It was all of the rest of the stuff that comes with it.
Yeah. I feel like, to go back on your point that they maybe didn't say enough of the good stuff, I feel like they were trying, but there was just this enormous amount of backlash for everything else that they were, screaming against an entire crowd, and they were never going to get heard. And that was definitely an issue. Do
you think with some better PR that they would have been able to overcome the crowd, or it was just too much?
I think it was too much at that point.
Yeah,
especially with Sony going right afterwards and then literally speaking to exactly the points that they had put out, right? I mean, it was pretty much a kick right to the head from Sony.
It absolutely was. And I mean, I think Sony just took advantage of that. And even if Microsoft had this great system, which now we'll really never know if it was, I mean, there was just no way of coming back from it. And I think Sony latched on, and that's why we're where we are right now.
All right.
Sorry, Jet, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, taking a step back before we get into the whole Sony factor. Before E3, we knew that these kind of policies were in there, and Sony hadn't really said anything. I kind of thought Sony was just going to roll out the DRM2, and we were kind of screwed. What were your guys' thoughts on the whole DRM thing before Sony went and said, screw that noise? Were you willing to accept all of that? Were you kind of keeping your fingers crossed that Sony wouldn't do the same thing?
I was keeping my fingers crossed they wouldn't do it. But I mean, I think I understood where it was coming from on a business standpoint, about making money and protecting your assets and developers getting their money, I guess. But I mean, I guess you could say I was nervous or afraid that it might happen because it easily could have. And I don't know. And seeing how Microsoft handled it, it was just oh my God, no, this can't be it. Cause I don't know. I mean, as a collector, and now my value of games is going to go, not my value in games, but the price of gaming is going to go up and up and up, and there's no way to really get that cheapness back that I really enjoyed to play a lot of stuff. And so, I mean, I didn't like that aspect. So I was a little nervous before Sony said anything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I kind of felt nervous as well. I don't know. We have to remember too as well that this whole DRM issue, we're talking about, Sony specifically is talking about first party titles are not going to have DRM on them, but they're not talking about other studios. Other studios can put DRM on the games. Right. And I mean, I think Xbox is in that same spot as well. They're saying, we'll take DRM off first party titles, but any studio that makes a game can add DRM to it, and it'll be there regardless of what Sony or Microsoft want.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. Not necessarily with DRM, but the fact that it's not Sony that is enforcing it.
But then what's the difference?
At that point, it's not the platform holder's problem. If it's EA doing it, then I can blame it on EA or blame it on other people. Yeah. But it's not at a root level where if Microsoft's enforcing it, then everyone's going to do it. But if Sony's not enforcing it, then it's going to be hit and miss. Or certain people will, certain people won't. Who knows?
And further to that point, you've got studios that are basically vying for everybody's money, and who's going to be the first one that implements DRM, right? who wants to be the one to fall on their sword and be the first and potentially only one implementing DRM, and everybody goes, EA implemented DRM, they suck, EA is horrible, and then all the other studios are like, whoa, I can't believe EA did that.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think there's a way that a company, let's just say EA, could make a game where if say Matt, you bought the game and then traded it in or gave it to me, is there a way they could block the entire game, or would they only be able to block online content through online passes?
I think online content, that's how they're doing it right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I imagine they could do whatever they wanted. I imagine they could block the whole game if they wanted to.
I guess I don't know how that would work though. How they would block me from playing it offline or something? Because I mean, how would they know? Big Brother aspect. How would they know I'm playing it? So I don't know.
I'm assuming it would be built into the disc.
Yeah, it must be.
Like, because they were talking about having to download it, and then obviously, once it's downloaded, the next time someone tries to download it, it's going to go, well, no, this has already been downloaded, you can't use it.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
Kind of like a PC mentality.
That's what I was just thinking, like CD keys and codes.
Which is essentially what their online pass was anyway, was basically a CD key.
Exactly.
Right? Because nobody buys NHL hockey to play single player.
Yeah, true.
So Sony's press conference happens, and Microsoft had theirs. The DRM thing is still in place. They didn't really do anything to sell me on this particular solution, and the system's $500. I kind of assumed that the systems are going to be $500. I was like, okay, fine. That's still not a number I am willing to pay. Sony happens, and they go out and say all the right things. There's no DRM. You don't have to check in. And then they drop the price. It's $399. I don't know about you guys. I went and pre-ordered one immediately.
Yep.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I said, no DRM, $100 cheaper, sold. Did it right off the bat.
John and I both pre-ordered ours.
That's funny. I have not pre-ordered one, so maybe I should.
Why not? I mean, if you can get in through Amazon, they're not going to charge you till it ships. So you have all the time in the world to cancel it.
That's true. Wow, yeah, I think that's what a lot of people did, though. They saw that and said, oh, yeah, I'm going to go Sony. So what about now? I mean, do you think anybody's switched boats, canceled PS4s for Xbox Ones?
Probably. I think there are a lot of
Xbox loyal gamers.
Yes, a lot of Xbox loyal gamers that want that machine for Call of Duty or the controller or Gears of War or whatever, Halo, who were probably just going to the PS4 because of the whole DRM thing and it's cheaper, but if the DRM's gone, maybe they'll fork over the extra 100 so that they can get back onto the ecosystem now that the DRM's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be completely honest. Like, I kind of looked forward to having my friends switch over to PlayStation.
I did too.
and when they announced this whole DRM thing coming back off, I was kind of disappointed. I sort of saw my friends like, oh, well, now we'll go back to Xbox because, whatever. But I was really excited about having people on PS4 for a while.
Yeah. I was excited in the old days when the Xbox One had DRM. I was kind of excited for having, even including Nintendo, like 3 consoles on the market that in a few respects were just radically different from one another.
Yeah.
Like, and not even the DRM on Xbox, but what it could do with the online stuff that it says that it can handle. And, the PS4 can't do that, but it can do all this stuff. Here's DRM issues. I felt like it was the first time where there was a big disparity between every single system. And now, not saying this is bad for Microsoft, but I think that it's a bit more of a level playing field again. And I don't know. I mean, I guess kind of as a gamer, it's kind of win some, lose some. So yeah, it is kind of disappointing to see it happen. I wanted to see the flames.
I know it's impossible, but like my grand dream is just to have everybody play nice. Like I wish PlayStation could play online with Xbox and vice versa. And it doesn't matter who your friends are, which console your friends are loyal to. You can just everybody plays,
Do you want
in a peaceful world.
Do you want that Dennis Dyack one console future?
Yes.
Yeah. All the same innards, different outer shell.
Yeah. As a big Xbox fan right now, like as far as the 360 goes, I was really put off by pretty much everything Microsoft had said about the Xbox One, from all the TV stuff to the Kinect having to be connected all the time, the whole Microsoft being one of the first companies to sign up for that NSA let's spy on you stuff.
That's a whole other story.
That's a whole other story, and that's still going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, still potentially a problem. They dropped the DRM, but I still feel like abused girlfriend, and they're just trying to apologize to me after going out of their way to try and screw me over as a consumer. And then I think the stuff that really rubbed me the wrong way were all the really bad PR responses back defending their platform, saying that this is the way of the future and we can't just back down on this stuff now because it's integrated at a super deep level.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they see that it's getting the Xbox One is getting trounced in the pre-order numbers, and they say, you know what? Let's scrap all that. Just patch it out.
Yeah. And it's like what I was thinking earlier. It seems so core to the console that they could just get rid of it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I think one of the exact quotes was like, it's not like we can just flip a switch and take away DRM.
Yeah.
And then the next day it was gone.
Flip switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a consumer, like, how are we supposed to take this? if Microsoft, the company that makes the box, doesn't have any confidence in themselves, like, what does that mean? Like, why would I want to buy that now? I'm not gonna. I mean, maybe it's me as an educated gamer, and I know what is happening, on the surface and a little bit below. Like, I wouldn't see that as like, oh, I'm gonna buy an Xbox One. I'd see it as, oh, well, Microsoft is freaked out that they don't have a good enough console, and Sony is just laughing. Like, I'm still gonna go with Sony.
Yeah, it's like what Jet said. He feels like the sort of abused gamer. You know what I mean? It's like they just kind of threw a whole bunch of punches at you, and now they're like, "Oh, we're sorry. Come back.
Please come back.
Yeah, I've changed.
I swear.
Yeah, I'll be better this time."
Maybe if they have games, I don't know. That would have helped.
I really want to play Titanfall, but not at $100 more and hurt feelings, and the Kinect plugged in all the time.
The Kinect plug-in all the time is kind of one of the things that bugs me as well. Apparently, even if you try to block it or obstruct it, it'll tell you that the camera's obstructed and you can't use it until you unobstruct the camera.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
That's so weird.
See, I thought you could just turn the camera around or cover it with a towel or something.
I don't think you can. I think it has to have like a full unobstructed view for like a few feet.
Ugh.
I'm imagining in my head like Jet sitting down to play Titanfall, Xbox One, turns the Kinect camera around, and then he just hears this whizzing as the camera turns itself back over like in a horror movie, and I'm watching you.
It's creepy. It's very HAL 9000.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, well.
So, I mean, did Matt, you pre-ordered your PlayStation 4. Did this news get you to also pre-order an Xbox One?
Nope. Honestly, I feel exactly the same way you do, Jet. It's like the way they presented it. To me, like, the thing is, the systems aren't fundamentally different enough to sort of combat each other in that way. Like, they're not fundamentally different enough for me to say, like, oh, I really want this or I really want that, hardware-wise. So for me, it was all about the marketing, and it was all about how it was presented and the way it was shown to us at E3. And I mean, just from the initial launch, or the initial reveal rather of the Xbox, I was turned off from it just because of the way they never even talked about gamers. It was all about TV and this and that. And then E3 obviously was a giant disaster for them as well. And I don't know, like, PlayStation just did a really good job right from the outset. And I have a PlayStation 3 now. I mean, I have an Xbox as well, but I've been playing my PlayStation more, and I really can't see myself, jumping over to the Xbox ship, even though they've sort of tried to right their wrongs, but I think they've done too much damage.
Yeah.
For me, I love my Xbox 360, but going into the next generation, Sony has presented the PlayStation 4 in a way that is totally appealing to me, and Microsoft has done the complete opposite of that. So at launch, I will pick up my PlayStation 4, pick up a whole bunch of games, and presumably it'll be my main system for a while. And maybe at a certain point, through a couple of price drops and a better software library, maybe some better features, I'll pick up an Xbox One down the line, and then maybe play it for the exclusives. But unless there's any sort of dramatic shifts, right now I think I'm on Team PS4.
Yeah,
well, and
I agree completely.
And Wii U, no DRM on that ever.
Oh, yeah.
Questioned
it. I like, did you see was it Satoru Iwata's response to DRM and like used games, and how he just says like, well, just make games that people want to play and make better games. That's what his response was.
Yeah, Reggie said something to that effect as well. And he backed it up with some stats that said, I think Nintendo games get traded in way less than everyone else.
Games you want to keep.
Yes. And
exactly.
When I think about it, I have a very hard time thinking about Nintendo first-party games that I've ever traded in.
Yeah. I mean, like, why would you trade in, like, New Super Mario Brothers Wii? Like, if people come over, that game is fun, easy to play, keep it.
It's not even the best Mario game, but would I trade it in?
It's not even.
No.
Yeah.
No,
exactly. Ugh.
It's funny, Jet, actually, back to that initial point you said when you last talked there, was about you love your Xbox 360, but you're not so convinced on the Xbox One. I think that all goes back to the fact that this is a new generation, and it's basically a blank slate, and they're fighting for your money, basically. And I really think they lost pretty badly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Xbox One is not Xbox 360, clearly.
Yes.
And it's a brand new ballgame, and they have to work for it, and they're just not doing too well.
Yep. I think that taking out the DRM in the grand scheme of things, great move, but you still got a box that's $100 more expensive that I still have to plug a Kinect into all the time, and you guys look like jerks, and I don't like jerks.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give jerks my money.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when the Xbox 360, the reason it did so well was because it had, arguably better online, a better online community. You could play, a lot of everybody's friends had Xbox, so the community was bigger. But
it was less money.
Well, yeah, it was less money.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it's a level playing field now. I mean, the communities are going to be, from ground zero built up. And it's not like, you have all these loyal, especially now that all the Xbox gamers are supposedly jumping ship, right?
Yeah.
So the communities are basically starting from scratch, and you're going to build it based on based on how you represent the brand now. And I think that PlayStation's represented a lot better than Xbox has, and hopefully that'll make their community a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I wanted to see all my friends on PlayStation. So, damn you, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't speak for the other split kick guys. I mean, talking internally, Rocket Jump will be out by now. They're probably talking about this exact same topic. But based on what I saw in our internal back and forth, it sounds like most of the guys have pre-ordered their PS4s and feel pretty burned by Microsoft and don't want anything to do with the Xbox One. I think, save for Aaron, who kind of has both but is sitting on the fence. Yeah. But otherwise, everyone seems to be going Team PS4.
Now, do you think this is gonna dig a hole that Microsoft can't get out of for this generation?
I think it's too early to say. It's very easy to throw dirt on them right now, and it's easy for me to say, yeah, I'm going to be Team PS4. But there's still so many gamers out there, I think, especially the mass audience who just play their Xbox 360, love it, who have no idea about any of this stuff that just transpired. They'll see it's a new Xbox, and they'll buy it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
And
I was going to touch on that too.
It's an extra $100, but this is the Call of Duty machine. I've been playing Call of Duty on this entire time. Why would I switch?
Well, I think, too, the gamer score has a lot to do with it as well.
There's that, too.
Oh, that, too, yeah.
And they're doing really smart stuff with that Day 1 edition of that special achievement you can only get by getting that particular version of the system.
Yeah.
Genius.
Now, what if Sony responds, we have a Day 1 system, too?
Day 1 platinum
Back
trophy.
and forth. Yeah, platinum trophy.
Yeah.
It's the Day 1 system. It's $100 cheaper than the Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the interesting things about that Day 1, Matt, I don't know if you have been on Amazon.ca lately, but they are selling the special Day 1 edition Xbox Live card thing.
Yeah.
So it's like 12-month subscription plus, I think, some sort of extra trinket.
Yeah.
And it's $100.
Oh my god.
Yes. It's like the 12 months subscription, some sort of like tin case, and some sort of trinket for an extra.
Wait, how much is 12 months just by itself in Canada?
$60.
$60.
Yeah, okay, same here in America. Wow,
Yeah.
wow, what are you buying?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm actually looking at it right now. All I can see is just the case. It just says
I hope
Xbox.
it's just $40 for an achievement. You are dumb.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man.
There's literally nothing. There's no description or anything. Oh, here it is. For a limited time, get a Day 1 12-month gold membership and play the digital game Killer Instinct Round 1 with Jago. Also includes commemorative Day 1 membership card. Day 1 membership card.
Nice.
And
Nothing
case.
says nerd like that.
Wow.
And the added value of getting a free-to-play game attached to it.
Yeah, really.
Nice.
Huh.
That's just sad.
Oh, Microsoft. And the best part is the case is two-toned, like the Xbox.
Nice.
One of the things, I mean, just to get off the Microsoft hate, a lot of people bash or saying that the Xbox One looks really ugly and that the PlayStation 4 looks so much better. I don't know about you, but the PlayStation 4 just looks like an italicized Xbox One to me.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
PlayStation 4 looks like two PS Slims put together.
Yeah, they just slapped them on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think aesthetically they're pretty much the same thing. So
Yes.
I mean, I haven't seen them, so unless one is like way bigger than it looks like in the pictures, yeah, they're the same thing.
Yeah, head to head, like when I've seen the comparison shots, the Xbox One is notably bigger.
Okay, well, I don't know.
But
Maybe it's
still,
all that
I mean-
the Connect support needs to add it in there.
I saw the picture where they showed the guts. There's a giant fan in there, which hopefully will prevent red rings.
Yeah, I was like, what if it messes
Hopefully.
up? That could be a topic in the future. The Red Ring of Death again.
I have a feeling they did not build a red ring onto that system.
Yeah, seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was, I think, in hindsight, a really bad decision on Microsoft's part, just to have that iconic symbol signify that your Xbox is screwed.
They didn't plan for it to be iconic. It just became.
It did.
Unfortunately.
Oh man, I'm looking at this Xbox One Day One edition, and the only difference is the controller says
Day One
2013 right in the middle of it.
What if they release late? What if they get pushed to 2014?
Or you get one that says Day 3.
Yeah. I want the day 28 edition.
Yeah.
Oh man, people would buy that too. That's sad.
I would
buy all of them.
An Xbox Live commemorative Xbox 180 pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That seems way more epic to me, but
they should do that. They should change the name to 180 because it's in conjunction with the 360. Oh, I might buy it then, just for the humor factor alone. If you're listening, Microsoft, you could do that. One more gamer.
If you have a Kinect in the room, they probably are.
Exactly. It's in the other room. It could probably hear me still.
All right, before we wrap this up, is there any last words you guys wanted to throw in there about E3, about the Xbox 180, PS4, anything? We've got a bit more time here, so let's go nuts.
I was happy with E3 overall. I think it was really cool. Besides all the Xbox, One, PS4 stuff, I thought a lot of really fun games were announced, and that's great. I think gamers won E3. It wasn't like PS4 won. I think people that play games won. And that was really cool.
That's such a politically safe answer. So bipartisan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I had to pick a console, I would say it was the PS4.
Yep.
If I had to pick a console that had the best lineup of games I wanted to play, it was Nintendo. So I mean, and I think Jet wasn't here yet, but Matt and I were talking, and anything Nintendo puts out, I always want to play it, and it's just everything looks so fun.
All of their first-party stuff in that press conference, which I had a really hard time watching. I don't know if you guys...
Oh, yeah, the issues.
Ustream feed was terrible.
Yeah, it was awful. They apologized for it, too.
Yeah.
But pretty much everything they showed was amazing.
Yes, I know. And they totally had Mega Man... It was Mega Man 3 version, I could tell, because he slid in Smash Brothers. That's all I'm saying.
But he had most of his Mega Man 2 weapons. He also had his uppercut from Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
All the Nintendo stuff I saw. I know a lot of people say, oh, they're playing it safe and it's not really going to sell Wii U's. Probably not, but as someone who already owns one, that is all the more reason. That is what I bought this Wii U for, to get. Give me the new Mario Kart, give me the new Smash Bros, all that stuff. I want it.
I mean, I almost have to disagree with you. I feel like that's what Nintendo has to do to sell those consoles. A major gamer, I don't know, just some random person that plays a lot of games on the PS4 probably won't care that much, but they'll know about Mario Kart, and they'll know, what it means. But that mass consumer, I'm thinking of my brother and his family, they're going to see that, and then they're going to be the ones that will buy it. And I think that's the smartest move Nintendo could do. And it makes me want to buy a Wii U. I really want one, even more so now. So I think it was a great move.
I'd say wait till 2014.
Fair enough. Yeah. When they're actually out, if they release on time.
Yeah, because all those games are coming late. I think the thing that's missing for me in that Wii U lineup is the one game that proves the concept of the gamepad and the tablet. They don't have that yet.
Yeah.
And they also don't have at least one new IP. That is
the Wonderful 101? It could be good.
First party new IP.
True. Okay.
I want an idea I want fresh stuff from Nintendo. That they don't
Super
have.
Mario?
Super Mario 3D World looks awesome, and the fact that they are further canonizing Super Mario 2 is a bonus.
Yes.
I'm probably going to play as Toad. I know that everyone else likes playing as Peach or Luigi.
I'd rock Peach.
In that format, but I always loved Toad running really fast and being able to pick stuff up really quickly.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep, don't sleep on Toad.
What do you guys think of E3? Any other thoughts?
I think that lost in the whole DRM talk is the fact that Microsoft had a pretty good press conference as far as games go.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Pretty good.
Good game after good game after good game. I really want to play Titanfall. I mean, the rest of the stuff, it all looked really good, though not necessarily my cup of tea. I'm trying to think. I can't even remember the other games that happened there, but I remember being impressed with what they showed.
The Rise
Everybody
of
laughed
Rome
when
was
Crimson
there.
Dragon got showed, and I thought it was Lair.
Crimson Dragon, yeah.
Yes. It was Lair with no audio.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that was embarrassing.
Or Battlefield 4 freezing. Oh, hold on. It's just got to load to the cloud.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Killer Instinct should be cool for you, Jet.
If I were to get an Xbox One, yeah. I still think that Ben and I have been talking between podcasts and internally back and forth about the whole platforms and the fighting game scene, where a lot of people, where consoles are just kind of cobbled together randomly. Having the DRM taken out does help Microsoft a bit, but then tournament organizers then have to worry about having to set up Kinects everywhere. They have to worry about disabling all of the Kinects so that someone can't just say Xbox off and turn off all the systems in the room.
Yeah, that's true.
There's all of that stuff that they have to consider, and I would not be surprised if the PlayStation 4 was still the platform for the FGC.
Yeah.
But yes, otherwise, Killer Instinct, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of bad things about that game, but from what I have heard from the hardcore FGC guys, they really like it.
Really?
Yeah. I found it really weird that they do, but watching Justin Wong and Alex Valle play that game and break it down and analyze all the cool stuff you can do made it look a lot more appealing.
That's good. That's good to hear, because as a big fan, I saw it and was not in any way on board for that one. So I don't know. And I think it was I don't know if it was a Game Informer article or like a Kotaku article talking to one of the developers saying well, we really wanted to, reach in the aspect of the series, and we thought that, we looked at Jago and we're like, oh, his key thing is his belt. And I'm like, his belt? What are you talking about? It's his costume and his crazy way he yells things and how he kicks you from across the stage. It's not his belt. And so I was really animated against it, and I was like, oh man, and the art style doesn't look cool. It's made by guys that have never made a fighting game. There's just too many variables.
Arguably have never made a good game.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, but it's good to hear that people. I mean, if the fighting works, then I'm on board. But if not, then I feel like they've just taken my series and crapped all over it.
Speaking of fighting, I'm kind of pumped for the new UFC game.
Really?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, we haven't seen anything from it, but excited.
I really hope they don't make it as complicated as those THQ games.
No, I don't think they will. I think I've read somewhere that they're trying to make it more in the vein of EA's MMA game, which is more of like an arcade style. Mm-hmm. But I imagine there'll be some complexity to the controls just because of the amount of different moves that need to be in the game. But it can't be as complex as the UFC Undisputed games, that's for sure. Excited though. Apparently it's going to look awesome.
That's cool.
And they've added ring entrances and all kinds of stuff like ambient arenas and all that stuff. So definitely what I kind of thought the UFC games were missing before. So we'll see how it's all sort of put together, and hopefully it's good.
So Matt, a few months from now, when the PlayStation 4 gets released, you're getting the system. What game are you getting with it? Or games?
I'm not sure. You said you were going to get a ton of games, right?
If you've got PlayStation Plus, you will get a version of Drive Club for free.
Yeah, Drive Club.
So
cool.
Sure, why not? The one game that I'm eyeing in particular at launch is Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I'm thinking Watch Dogs for sure.
That could be a good one.
I'm not an Infamous or Killzone guy at all. I know those are kind of the two first-party big names, but I don't like either of those.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy them day one. I don't know if it's launch, but Knack sounds kind of cool. If that's launch, that might be where I would go.
I'm trying to think of if it's launch. I'm not entirely sure if it is, but the new Infamous game looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks like more of, the fun Infamous style, and that's awesome.
Yeah, and obviously Assassin's Creed too. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Mm-hmm. Although 3 didn't quite do it for me.
Yeah, but I'm feeling very burned by Assassin's Creed as well. Just like Animal Crossing burned me many years ago.
But this one has pirates.
Yeah, pirates. Come on, Jet.
I'm still not sold. That third game did not live up to my expectations, and the game before that did not live up to my expectations.
Yeah.
So
fair. 2 strikes.
Jay, are you looking forward to Final Fantasy 15?
I am. Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to see 13 versus 13 is actually doing something. I mean, I don't care that it's jumped ships because there's actually, 2 other 13 games. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And this was I wrote about it on my blog. This was such a good E3 for RPG fans because there's so many solid games. And I mean, the big one that I think the biggest ones will be Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3, which are pretty cool to see. But those more or less were expected. Yeah. But that new Monolith Studio games for the Wii U, that RPG, oh man, Like, that sounds really cool. And I mean, that came out of nowhere. That's a huge surprise. And if you like RPGs, that should be your RPG game of show, should be that one. If not like The Witcher or something like that. But as a surprise, that was awesome.
The Witcher looked pretty good too. I'm actually really excited for Kingdom Hearts though.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 should be cool. I mean, it's a long time coming, so they better deliver something. And I mean, and the previous games, all the handheld ones, have all been really good. So hopefully,
apparently this
takes
is
advantage.
It's a direct sequel to Dream Drop Distance as well.
Yeah, because the end of Dream Drop Distance, it has to be Kingdom Hearts 3. It has to be. So it should be cool.
Isn't Dream Drop Distance a puzzle game?
No, that's the 3DS one. It's a sequel to blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, one of them. I can't remember.
I admittedly I don't follow the Kingdom Hearts series at all, but there was a Kingdom Hearts puzzle game at some point. Yeah, no, or am I just crazy?
No, okay. I don't think so. I mean, there's been so many.
No, I'm going to patent a Kingdom Hearts puzzle game right now.
Yeah. Is it a match 3 puzzle game?
Yes. It's going to be kind of like Candy Crush Saga, but it's got to have Mickey faces on blocks.
Okay.
Certainly.
Little Soras and Rikus.
Yes.
I'd buy it.
Sold. Just cut the check.
The Order actually looks kind of cool too. The Order 1886.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was kind of cool.
I don't know if that's launched though.
I don't know either. I don't know if they really gave any release windows because we don't know when the consoles are coming.
Yeah.
So, although I heard a rumor today, PS4 is November 13th. Rumor.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Matt,
I would assume before Black Friday and Thanksgiving holiday for us is when we'd get them. I'd assume.
Yeah.
Do you think they both come out on the same day?
No. I don't think. I think that would be just a nightmare for both of them. Even if Sony is going to, let's say, win, the pre-sales, I feel like there would just be so many logistical problems that would happen that would make people upset. So I think they would offset by a few days at least. Okay,
so do you think Sony will release first and just win the entire thing, like right to the end?
I think if, I don't know. I mean, I think releasing first wouldn't matter so much, but I think if you release too close to, like I'm going to use the Black Friday holiday again. If you release too close to that day and then people, there's an issue with your service or how many are out there, that'll be a huge factor. So I think earlier in November makes a bit more sense. And I mean, I don't really think releasing first or second would make a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo is a year early and look at them.
Matt, will you be playing Call of Duty on current gen or next gen?
I think I'll probably go next gen.
All right, there you go. You've got your PS4, your Call of Duty, and Watch Dogs. That sounds like a solid start.
Watch Dogs has basically been on my radar for the entire time. But
since last year.
yeah, totally. And I keep watching gameplay videos of it. And, oh, man, it looks so good.
It does. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jet, what are you going to buy? Are you just going to do Watch Dogs?
I think it's just Watch Dogs for now.
Okay.
And, yeah, because around that time, I also need money for Mario and some other stuff.
True. Nintendo's biting at your wallet. That's cool. Should be a good time. Like I said, man, gamers win. They're the winners.
Gamers win. Just keep whining like babies, and all the companies will turn over and give us whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
All right, so we can wrap things up. Jason, you've got lots of time. I know you have to leave
we're good.
at a certain time.
We're good.
I think we've covered a lot on this particular episode really quickly.
Definitely.
That went really fast.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was good.
All right, so before we go, you guys should plug some things. Matt, what's going on?
So, new Screaming Eagle podcast this week.
Oh, dude, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Is that? Can
You've been
I
in Cuba
that
too long.
right now?
No, we're recording it this week.
Oh, okay.
So we had another one up, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, and then we've been kind of on a little bit of a hiatus, some scheduling issues. We always seem to be, considering one of us is fun employed, and the other two are working full-time, and one of us works at the actual station where we record. You'd think this would be pretty easy, but not so much. So we're doing our best to get back in the studio. So hopefully, this week, I think Saturday, we're doing it. So, and as for Biff Band Pop, I've actually been kind of on a bit of a hiatus with them. I haven't written anything with them for a while. I did a Microsoft wrap-up just because I absolutely had to. I couldn't resist. But nothing on the burner for them right now. But as soon as I'm back with them, I'll let you guys know.
All right, Jason, what's shaking?
I have 2 reviews that went up through Inside Gaming yesterday, actually. So those are the Call of Juarez Gunslinger is up there, and the Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages review is also there. Hopefully, I'll get the D&D one up too. So that's a lot going on over there. And then outside of that, my Tumblr blog, aworldofgames.tumblr.com, all the arcade stuff. Laura and I actually worked on it, and we customized a new sort of layout and features for it. So that is still a bit under construction, but it looks way better now. So if you saw it before, go again. It's cool. Totally worth it. And I had a lot of fun uploading new videos or new pictures these past few weeks too. So lots of new stuff over there.
Sweet. I greatly enjoyed the Jason Jasicki web ring of gaming websites.
Yeah,
I have it on my Pulse feed, so.
Yeah, I have that on my Google Reader. Oh, wait, they're killing that.
You guys are the best.
Totally unrelated. I love Google Reader, and I'm heartbroken that they are killing it. I need an alternative.
Yeah, they're getting rid of it.
I need an alternative, and everything I've used sucks. What can I use instead?
You just want an RSS aggregator?
Yes. Give me something that works just like Google Reader, but isn't.
I mean, for all my new stuff, all my RSS feeds, I use Pulse.
Pulse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard it. It's called Pulse News. You can get it for desktop. You can get it for your mobile. And basically, you can search by address. You can search by RSS feed. There's actually thousands of the sources built right into the app. So you can just sort of arrange them, and you have like spaces for 10 or 12 different categories, and each one holds like 10 or 12 different feeds. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of these have all sorts of different features. I don't care about any of that. I just want it to look like Google Reader, and I'm good. That's all I ask for.
Ironically, you could probably Google and find something.
Yes.
I've tried, and it's not working out. People keep telling me all these different ones, and I'm not happy with any of them. But no. I'll try this Pulse one. Alright, as for me, Kickstart Guide to Street Fighter Cross Tekken out now. If you are playing that game, trying to get in shape for EVO, definitely check that guide out. I should have a viewer's guide out for EVO soonish, because that's in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it is.
I would love to go to EVO someday. But I burned my trip to Vegas this year, so...
Yeah, it was worth it.
Yes, I got to meet you, so...
You got chicken and waffles, it's worth it.
Yes.
Oh, chicken and waffles, awesome.
Other things happening on Splitkick, there are some new video things going on. Radio plays. So this time he played Gunpoint. I don't know if you guys have played that one at all.
Nope.
Jeff from... I know him most from the guy I play Injustice with Aaron. He's got a new video series called Nerd Culture Rising.
Nice. Definitely
check that out. It's got really funny doodles, and he does social commentary on all sorts of things happening in the video game industry.
Cool.
There is a Gears of War Judgment game night scheduled for... What day is it? Monday, June the 24th. So on the day this podcast comes out, tonight they are going to play Gears of War Judgment. Tonight! Odds are most people are going to listen to it later, so you missed it. Too bad, so sad. But if you are listening in time, grab a copy of Gears of War Judgment and play with the guys. Also, Don't forget to listen to the Rocket Jump podcast. They had their 100th episode recently. I don't know if you guys... Yeah, it was a great episode. I make a cameo appearance on there, and I may or may not have played Taylor Swift on guitar.
Amazing.
So if the fact that it is the 100th episode of Rocket Jump is not enough of a selling point, me playing guitar has to be. No, I'm kidding.
Double whammy.
I'm kidding. I played it pretty poorly, but it is what it is. Alright, you can also email us at bosscast@splitkick.com. We would love to hear all of your comments regarding the Xbox 180 and what this means for gaming and whether or not you're going to pre-order one.
I love it. The Xbox 180. That's awesome.
That's what it's going to be. And you know what's funny? There was this huge question of what are we going to call it? XB1? Xbone? No, now it's handled. Xbox 180.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, and on Twitter you can find us at Maddie Lang, at JJasicki, at JetLandyJoe, and at SplitKick.com. Wait, no. At SplitKick.com. Darn it, I still haven't gotten it back.
Getting back in the swing of things.
Still getting back in the swing of things.
Mm-hmm.
So...
We'll bring back the paper shredder next week.
So till next time, we'll see you guys later.
All right.
See ya.